The rain-soaked streets of Willow Creek, a sleepy coastal town in Maine, glisten under flickering streetlights as Nora Ellis, a 34-year-old bookstore owner with a heart full of unanswered questions, locked up her shop. A scruffy dog, with matted fur and soulful brown eyes, sat outside, watching her like he'd been waiting all day. No collar, no tags, just a quiet presence that tugged at her. Nora knelt, her coat damp, and offered a smile. "Hey, buddy, where's your real owner?" The dog tilted his head, his gaze so deep it felt like he understood her pain. Her husband, Ben, lost a car crash 2 years ago. As she stood to leave, the dog followed, his paws soft on the pavement. Why was this stray so drawn to her, and what was he trying to say? She glanced back, the dog's eyes catching the moonlight. Something about him felt familiar, like a whisper from a life she'd lost. Nora's world was small now, her days filled with books and the soft hum of Willow Creek's tides. Ben's death had left her hollow, his laughter a memory she chased in dreams. She found comfort in routine, her shop, her coffee, her walks. But this dog, with his steady gaze, was stirring something new. She led him into her porch, offering water and a blanket. "You're not staying," she said, half joking, but he curled up, watching her. Her friend Lila, a baker with a knack for seeing through Nora's walls, called to check in. "A stray, huh? Maybe he's a sign." Lila teased. Was this dog just a lonely wanderer or something more? Nora tossed him a scrap of bread, his eyes never leaving her. As midnight neared, she felt a pull, like he was waiting for her to listen. The clock struck midnight, and the dog, Nora called him Ghost for his pale fur, whimpered, pacing by the door. His eyes locked on hers, urgent, like he needed her to follow. Nora hesitated, her slippers cold on the floor, but his soft whine broke her resolve. "Okay, Ghost, what's out there?" she asked, grabbing her coat. They stepped into the misty night, Ghost leading her down a winding path toward the cliffs overlooking the sea. The town was asleep, the only sound the waves crashing below. Where was Ghost taking her, and why did it feel so important? Her flashlight bobbed, Ghost's tail a faint guide. The cliffs loomed, and a chill ran through her. Something was waiting in the dark. The path narrowed, the cliffs jagged and wild, the sea's roar filling the air. Ghost stopped at a rocky outcrop, paw at the ground, his whimpers sharp. Nora's heart raced. She spotted a small bundle, a child's jacket, tattered and damp, half buried in the dirt. Her breath caught. Someone had been here, maybe in trouble. She knelt, her hands shaking as she lifted the jacket. Inside was a locket, engraved with "To Lily, love, Dad." Nora's mind spun. Lily, a local girl, had vanished a year ago, her case cold. Was Ghost connected to Lily, and what did he know? Ghost nudged her, his eyes pleading, urging her toward a hidden trail down the cliff. Nora's gut said to follow, but fear whispered to turn back. Nora called Jace, a park ranger and Ben's old friend, his voice groggy but kind at 1 a.m. "A kid's jacket? On the cliffs?" he asked, already pulling on his boots. Jace had searched for Lily. His failure to find her a scar he carried quietly. He met Nora at the trail, his flashlight steady, his dog, Rusty, sniffing beside Ghost. The trail was steep, the rocks slick with mist. Ghost led, his steps sure, while Rusty growled, sensing something off. Jace's jaw tightened. "This feels wrong, Nora." Was Lily out there, or was Ghost leading them into danger? Nora clutched the locket, her heart pounding. Ghost's eyes caught the moonlight, pulling her deeper into the mystery. The trail ended at a cave, its mouth a black void against the cliff. Ghost darted inside, his barks echoing urgent. Nora hesitated. Caves were treacherous, and the sea was rising, but Jace nodded, his voice low. "If Lily's in there, we can't wait." They followed, their lights cutting to the damp air. Inside, Nora found scratches on the wall, fresh, like someone had been trapped. Her heart sank. A child's shoe, small and worn, lay in a corner. "Lily," she whispered, her voice breaking. Was Lily alive, or was this cave her tomb? Ghost whined, pawing at a crevice, his eyes on Nora. Something, or someone, was close, and time was running out. A faint cry, small and scared, echoed from the crevice. Nora's heart leapt. It was a child, alive. Jace wedged himself through, Nora behind, Ghost squeezing past. They found her, Lily, 10, her face pale, her ankles swollen, curled in a hidden chamber. "You came," she whispered, tears falling. Lily's story spilled out. She'd run from home, angry at her dad, and fallen into the cave, trapped for days. But she swore someone brought her food, a shadowy figure she never saw clearly. Who saved Lily, and why did Ghost know where she was? Nora held her, promising safety, but Ghost's gaze was fixed on the cave's exit, like he wasn't done yet. Jace carried Lily out, her arms tight around his neck, while Nora guided Ghost and Rusty. The sea roared below, the tide climbing, making the trail slicker. Lily's dad, Tom, a fisherman broken by her loss, met them at the cliffs, sobbing as he hugged her. "My girl," he choked, his voice raw. Nora's heart swelled, but Ghost's restlessness unnerved her. He paced, whining, his eyes on the sea. Tom mentioned Lily's talk of a ghostly man who left bread. Was someone else out there, tied to Ghost's mission? She thanked Jace, but Ghost tugged her toward the beach below. Midnight was long gone, but the mystery wasn't. The beach was a stretch of pebbles and driftwood, the waves crashing under a fading moon. Ghost led Nora to a titterpool, pawing at a rusted tin box half buried in sand. Her hand shook as she opened it. Letters, yellowed and damp, addressed to my love, signed B. Her heart stopped, Ben's initial, his handwriting. The letters spoke of love, guilt, and a promise to make things right. Nora's knees buckled. Ben had secrets, one she'd never known. Ghost nuzzled her, his warmth steadying her. What was Ben hiding? And how was Ghost connected to him? She pocketed the letters, her mind reeling. Ghost's eyes urged her back to town, like he had more to show her. Nora showed the letters to Lila at her bakery, the smell of fresh bread grounding her. Lila's eyes softened, reading Ben's words. "He loved you, Nora, but sounds like he carried something heavy," she said, her voice gentle. Lila remembered Ben talking about a debt before his crash, something vague but haunting. Ghost curled up by the counter, watching Nora, his presence a quiet push. Lila handed her coffee, her grin warm. "That dog got a plan, girl. You listening?" What debt did Ben owe, and was Ghost here to settle it? Nora sipped, her heart racing. Ghost's whine pulled her to the door. Midnight was coming, and he was ready to move. At midnight, Ghost scratched at Nora's door again, his eyes bright, urgent. She followed him through Willow Creek's empty streets, her flashlight dim, the letters heavy in her pocket. He led her to the old lighthouse, shuttered since a storm wrecked it years ago. Its door creaked open, like it was waiting. Inside, the air was thick with dust and salt. Ghost bounded up the spiral stairs, his barks echoing. Nora's heart pounded. She found a journal, its pages filled with Ben's writing, detailing a smuggling ring he'd stumbled on as a Coast Guard volunteer. Was Ben's crash an accident, or did someone silence him? Ghost nudged her, his gaze on the lighthouse's top. Something was up there, calling her into Ben's past. The lighthouse's top was a nest of shadows, the old beacon rusted but gleaming faintly. Nora found a hidden panel, a stash of photos, Ben with men she didn't know, unloading crates at night. Her heart sank. He'd been in deep, tried to expose the ring. A note in his journal read, "Protect Nora. Tell no one." Ghost whined, pawing at the window, his eyes on the sea. A boat's light flickered offshore, too close for a fisherman. Was the smuggling ring still active, and did Ghost know who they were? Nora texted Jace, her hands shaking. Ghost's warmth kept her steady. She was close to Ben's truth, and she wouldn't stop. Jace met Nora at the beach, Rusty at his side, his face grim. "Smugglers? Here?" he asked, reading Ben's journal. They watched the boat, its lights dim, men unloading crates. Ghost growled, his fur bristling, like he recognized them. Jace called the Coast Guard, his voice low. Nora's heart raced. Ben had died for this, and now she was in his place. One man, tall with a scarred hand, glanced ashore, his eyes catching the moonlight. Was he Ben's killer, and could Nora face him? Ghost stayed close, his gaze fierce. Nora whispered, "Show me, boy," and he led her toward the crates hidden in the dunes. The crates were heavy, marked with strange symbols, hidden under tarps. Nora pried one open, her heart pounding. Inside were artifacts, old and delicate, stolen from museums. Ben's journal mentioned a collector buying relics through the ring. Ghost sniffed his growl low, like he sensed danger. Scarred Hand's voice carried, barking orders. Nora ducked, her breath shallow, snapping photos with her phone. Jace whispered, "Coast Guard's 10 minutes out." Could they stay hidden, or was Scarred Hand about to find them? Ghost's eyes met hers, calm but urgent. Nora felt Ben's courage in her. She'd finish what he started. Scarred Hand turned, his flashlight sweeping the dunes, inches from Nora's hiding spot. Ghost stayed still, his warmth grounding her, but Rusty growled, drawing the man's attention. Jace tackled Rusty, muffling him, but Scarred Hand shouted, his men fanning out. Nora's heart hammered. She sent the photos to Lila, whispering, "If I don't make it, share these." Jace pulled her back, his voice fierce. "You're making it, Nora." Could they escape the smugglers, or was this the end of Ben's fight? The Coast Guard siren wailed, lights flashing offshore. Ghost nudged her, urging her to run, and she followed, her heart with Ben. Nora, Jace, and the dog sprinted through the dunes, Scarred Hand's men close, their shouts sharp. A bullet grazed the sand, and Nora stumbled, Ghost nudging her up. Jace fired a warning shot, slowing the men, but Scarred Hand's voice was cold. "Get the woman." They reached a fishing shack, hiding inside, the dog silent. Nora's phone buzzed. Lila, forwarding the photos to the feds. Would help come in time, or were they trapped in the shack? Ghost's eyes glowed in the dark, like he knew the way out. Nora trusted him, her heart racing. She wasn't done yet. The shack's walls shook as Scarred Hand's men pounded the door. Jace barred, his face set, while Nora found a loose floorboard, a trapdoor to a tunnel. "Ben used this," she whispered, recognizing his mark. They crawled through, Ghost leading, the tunnel damp and tight. The men broken above, their curses fading as Nora emerged on the beach. The Coast Guard's lights close. Scarred Hand was gone, his boat vanishing into the fog. Was he escaping or planning something worse? Ghost whined, his eyes on the sea. Nora's heart ached. She felt Ben, guiding her through Ghost, and she wouldn't let him down. The feds arrived, seizing the crates, Ben's journal sparking an investigation. Nora, Jace, and Lila met at the bookstore, Ghost curled by her feet. The photos named Scarred Hand, Victor Klein, a local businessman with a clean record, too clean. Lila's eyes widened. He's at town hall, Nora. Always has been. Nora's heart sank. Victor was Willow Creek's shadow, Ben's enemy hiding in plain sight. Ghost nudged her, his gaze steady, like he'd known all along. Was Victor the collector, and could Nora expose him? She clutched Ben's journal, her resolve hardening. Midnight was near, and Ghost was ready to lead again. At midnight, Ghost scratched at the door, his eyes bright, pulling Nora to Victor's estate, a mansion overlooking the cliffs. Jace joined Rusty at his side, his voice low. "If Victor's ahead, he's dangerous." Nora nodded, her heart steady. Ben's truth was hers now, and Ghost was her guide. The estate was dark, guards patrolling. Ghost slipped through a hedge, leading them to a basement window. Nora's breath caught. Inside was a vault, artifacts gleaming, Ben's proof alive. Could they get inside, or was Victor waiting? Ghost's tail flicked, his eyes calm. Nora felt Ben's love, pushing her forward. She was ready. Nora crawled through the window, Jace behind, Ghost silent. The vault held relics, vases, statues, scrolls, stolen history. Ben's crusade. She snapped photos, her hand steady, but a guard's footsteps echoed above. Jace whispered, "We got seconds." Ghost growled low, as Victor's voice carried from a hidden room. "The dog's back. Find it." Nora's heart froze. Victor knew about Ghost, maybe Ben. Was Ghost more than a stray, and what did Victor fear? They slipped out, photos sent the feds, but Victor's men closed in. Ghost led them to the woods. His path sure. The woods were thick, moonlight barely breaking through. Victor's men crashing behind. Nora's heart pounded, Ghost weaving through trees, Jason Rusty close. A shot rang out, grazing a branch. And Nora Dove, Ghost nudging her up, his eyes fierce. Jace fired back, slowing the men, but Victor's voice was close. She knows too much. Nora's phone buzzed. The feds were raiding, thanks to her photos. Could they reach safety? Or was Victor about to catch them? Ghost wine guided her to a stream, its banks hidden. Nora felt Ben's hand in his, leading her out. They hid by the stream, Victor's men passing, their lights fading. Nora's breath steadied, Ghost's warmth grounding her. Jace checked Rusty, his voice soft. Ben would be proud, Nora. She nodded, tears stinging. Ben's fight was hers, and Ghost was their bridge. The feds texted. Victor's estate was locked down, but he'd fled. Nora's heart sank. He was a ghost, like Ben, but dangerous. Where was Victor hiding, and would Ghost find him? Ghost's eyes met hers, calm but urgent. Midnight was gone, but his mission wasn't. She followed, her heart open. Ghost led them to Willow Creek's old church, its steeple leaning, its doors unlocked. Inside, Nora found a hidden room. Ben's safe house, filled with notes, maps, photos of Victor's ring. Her heart ached. He'd been so close to stopping them. Ghost pawed at a box, a letter inside, to her. "Love, if you find this, I'm gone," Ben wrote. "The dog will guide you. Trust him." Nora's tears fell. Ghost was Ben's gift, his spirit somehow tied to her. Was Ghost truly Ben's messenger, or something more? Jace hugged her, Ghost nuzzling close. The feds were close, but Victor was closer, his shadow heavy. At midnight, Victor's voice echoed outside the church. "Come out, Nora." Ghost growled, his fur bristling, leading them to a back exit. Nora's heart raced. Victor knew she had Ben's proof, and he'd kill for it. Jace readied his gun, his voice steady. "We've got this." They slipped out, but Victor's men ambushed, guns raised. Ghost charged, scattering them, giving Nora time to run. Could she escape with Ben's truth, or was Victor too strong? The Fed sirens wailed, lights flashing. Ghost barks led her to a graveyard, his eyes glowing like Ben was there. The graveyard was silent, headstones glowing under moon. Ghost stopped at Ben's grave, pawing the earth, a tin box buried there. Nora opened it, recordings, Ben's voice exposing Victor's ring, his final gift. Her heart broke. He died for this for her. Victor's men closed in, but the feds swarmed, cuffing them. Victor stood alone, his gun on Nora, but Ghost leapt, knocking him down. Was this the end? Or did Victor have one last card? Nora played the recording, Ben's voice filling the night, Victor's face crumbling. Ghost's eyes shone, like Ben's soul was free. The feds cuffed Victor, his empire exposed, Ben's recording sealing his fate. Nora's heart soared. Ben's fight was won through her, through Ghost. Lila and Jace hugged her, Willow Creek buzzing with the news. But what was Ghost's final act? And why did it feel so big? Ghost led her to the cliffs at midnight, his eyes soft, his mission done. He laid down, his breath slowing, his gaze on the sea. Nora's tears fell. She felt Ben in him, saying goodbye. Was Ghost leaving, or was he something beyond her world? She held him, her heart full. Ghost's warmth faded, but his light stayed forever. Willow Creek rallied. The smuggling ring gone, Ben's name of heroes. Nora's shop thrived. Kids reading Ben's story, Ghost's legend growing. Lila baked treats of the town, Jace patrolling with Rusty. Their bond tight. But what was Nora's last find, and why did it change her? At midnight, Nora found a locket at Ben's grave, hers, lost years ago, with a note. "I'm with you." Her heart raced. Ghost was Ben's spirit, guiding her, now at peace. She wore it, her soul light. She sat by the sea, stars bright. Ghost's eyes lingered in her heart, his love eternal. Lila shared a secret. Ghost had appeared at Ben's crash site, seen by a fisherman, leading him to safety. Nora's breath caught. Ghost wasn't just a dog. He was a spirit. Ben's love made real, sent to finish his fight. Was Ghost gone forever, or waiting in the shadows? Nora found paw prints at the cliffs, fresh, leading nowhere. Her heart soared. He was still here, watching. She started a shelter, saving strays, Ben's love alive in her work. Jace and Lila joined, their family whole. The town glowed, Ghost light in every heart. Nora felt him, her guide, her home. Nora's shelter saved dozens. Kids naming dogs after ghosts, their laughter her joy. She wrote Ben's story, Midnight's Guide, its pages soaring, Willow Creek healing. Jace proposed to Lila, Rusty their ring bearer, Nora their light. But what was that final sign, and why did it shine? At midnight, a puppy appeared at her shop, ghost's eyes in its face, a locket around its neck, Ben's ring inside. Nora's tears fell. He was still here, his love endless. She named it Spirit, her heart full. She walked the cliffs, Spirit beside her, stars above. Ben's love was her forever. Nora and Spirit sat by the cliffs, Willow Creek alive, stars endless. Her book changed lives, her shelter a beacon, Lila and Jace her family. She whispered, "We're enough, Ben," her voice soft. What's next for Nora, and will Ghost's light endure? A kid ran up, holding a drawing, Nora, Ghost, Ben, under stars. "For you," she said. Nora's tears fell, her heart soaring. Spirit's tail wagged, Ghost spirit alive. Willow Creek shone, reborn, Nora's love its song. Subscribe and hit the bell for stories of love, mystery, and spirits that light the dark.